Maserati in Kent. Hello.
Have you ever seen
It's 4:03. When did I start the vlog today? I guess I filmed that Maserati on my way home. So economics class sucked per usual. That is so dry and mundane and boring and seemingly worthless. But I did get through that, turned homework in, all is good, all is well. So we got home, I cut grass over across the street. A lot of pine needles coming down. I'm noticing that with all the pine trees this year. About a third of their needles are yellowing and then falling off and stopping the mower up. So we got that taken care of. Then we blew the driveway off here. This is all since yesterday. As I said yesterday, it's going to be a big mess. So it's really windy. I would love to come over here, just blow off this corner here under this pin oak tree and mow, but I'd be blowing leaves and then be coming back in my face and going further away from where I want them. So today's not a good day for that. So I'm thinking I'll just push everything back a day. I'll hit them tomorrow, Thursday. We'll hit that one over there on Friday or vice versa. And then we'll be caught up till we do this one again early next week. So I drove that today, obviously. But yesterday I mentioned I did a lot of research on car stuff and parts, and it's really time to get serious with the 330. Most of you probably didn't get that. Sirius XM. I put that in the M5, and honestly I've used the auxiliary more so because that's kind of the fun car that I want to get in, and the iPhone connects via Bluetooth, and I play what I want to play. It's more of a specialized listening experience, if you will. The 330 is just going to be the commuter, and I want to just be able to get in and not mess with anything, not be able to, or not have to switch tracks on my phone all the time, and just put it on 70s on 7 or Kiss FM LA or something like that. So I went and did some research, and it's not going to be easy, primarily because I don't have navigation. So the technology in this car is more simplistic, if I can say that. And there's really only one version of the Sirius stuff that works with non-nav cars, and that's version 1. They made it for the iBus system, so that's E38, E39, E53, E46, E88 or 83, whatever that first generation X3 is. And then they kind of just stopped doing that because everything had nav that was smart enough to have Sirius. But it can be done. It's the same module that would work in, say, a 530 BMW without nav or something like that, or an X5 either engine. So I found there's one available online for sale, and it came with an antenna. So I bought it, and it goes back here somewhere. And I really don't know how. Everybody else is saying there's a little trap door right here. Well, obviously this carpet piece is made for cars without that. So, I mean, I have my glasses on, I can't even see. But back there I should find the pre-wire wires for the 6-disc, and I'm gonna say that it goes back there somewhere. So I don't really know, but I did buy the right part number, which was Gen 1. Came with an antenna. I had to buy the splitter from ECS, and I didn't buy the bracket. The bracket's 40 bucks. It is still available, and I would buy the bracket and install it correctly on the inside of that. But that would require replacing this carpet. I don't want to go through the time and expense to do that. I think I'll just get it and stuff it back here, and, you know, ensure that it doesn't rattle around or damage itself or pull wires or stress anything. But I've got to find those 6-disc wires, which might be underneath that black trim panel. So I think I'm going to pull that and see what I find. I need a 3-pin and a 6-pin, just like that. Now, this is wired for 6-disc CD player. So those wires have got to be in there, and if it weren't, that would be really difficult to add Sirius. But then I've got to figure out where I'm going to put the damn antenna. I mean, it would be pretty easy to just like run it out here, get it under this trim somehow, and then just tack it here. I don't really want that, though. I'd like it on the rear deck. So I've got split folds, which have to be opened from here, and maybe there's going to be a way, if I can kind of pull this carpeting back enough and then like run it under here and then just down in that crack and do something similar to what I did with the M5. But it'll be an experience, and I'll probably film it and make a DIY and see if we can't get that to work, because having Sirius in here would be fun. And stay tuned. It shipped today out of New York, so I should have it by the end of the week. I had to buy an antenna splitter from ECS that'll probably be in here by next Monday. So I pulled this little black plastic piece of trim out of the way, and there are some wires here. and I'm not quite sure what they are or where they go yet. This all looks pretty dirty in here. Something's going up here. I would imagine that to be the tail light. And I see the mount for a bracket here, so there's something there. That might be what should be the Sirius or the CD changer bracket, but I'm gonna pull this carpet back now and see what I see. Okay, so we found something. Harman Kardon E46. The CD player is inside the car, so is the MID. So I guess this makes it the actual amp, right? That's a tiny ass little amp, but I guess that would be the actual amp. So okay, here's what people were talking about. Here's this big bundle of stuff, and I think this is what I'm going to refer to as the pre-wire bundle. So let's crack it open and see what we have in here. This stuff hasn't seen the light of day for 12 years. Welcome to Ohio. You're not in Germany anymore. And there is quite the amount of cable of exactly what I'm looking for, I think. The 3-pin and the 6-pin, just like that car has. Now, I don't think this thing has DSP. There's no actual sound processor with a an equalizer that I know of. There's like treble bass, and then you can move it left or right and front and back. I forget what that's called. I don't know why. Fader and balance, I guess. There's none of that, or there is that, but there's no equalizer. So it's non-DSP, but that should be what I need to plug into the Sirius, and I think it's going to be that easy to just plug the Sirius into this and it'll recognize it, because I've got the right radio inside the car, the right CD player. And then I guess I'll just stuff the actual module. If it's really thin, I could put it in between the amp and the car, but then that's not really good for airflow for the amp. So maybe I'll look into that bracket, and if that bracket replaces this and then allows me to put, although then there's no room for this carpet, so I'll probably just stick it here. There's a lot of room there. So that's the plan, guys. That's what we're gonna do, and then I'll figure out how to take the rest of this carpet down to shove it inside the car. So upon further inspection, if you come in the back seat, I'm just thinking out loud, sorry if this bores the hell out of you, and you open your center split fold, or your 60 part of your 60/40 split fold, then you come over here and you stick your hands behind this part of the seat. It just pops right out, just like the E39, although they're using plastic tabs and an acceptor instead of metal, and then there's a hook and a hook down there, and then you pull that out. Okay, so now here's the carpeting on the inside. So if I pop out these plastic retainers, we'll be able to remove this black plastic piece of trim. It's pretty flimsy already. Then there's one that holds the carpet in here. We could just run it behind the carpet, or better yet, here is the main, I'm assuming this is all audio wires too, wiring harness from the trunk tech up into the cabin. So if I pry out this piece of sound insulation, heat insulation, cold insulation piece of foam that actually doesn't feel like it would fall apart, I'll have access to this hole for running wires. So then I'll stick the antenna wire through there, bring it up here in between the C-pillar and the rear deck, and then mount my antenna, or just lay my antenna back here. Now if I were really anal about this car, I could take the deck out and do what most people do and put it on that child restraint thing right there. I don't care that much. I'll just stick it out and let it sit over here by the speaker. If it makes noise, I'll friggin' use double-sided tape or something on the speeder car. So that's the plan. And I think I should be able to install Sirius in this thing in less than 35 minutes, unless I run into tech-related issues and compatibility and stuff. But I pulled the CD player on this car when I put the auxiliary adapter in, and I looked at the build date, and it's an Alpine build of like 06, and this is an 02. So somebody replaced this car. I don't know what all this white stuff is. Somebody replaced the CD player in this car with a more modern one that will support aux and Sirius. So I mean, that's the most expensive thing right there. That's like 400 bucks. The module's half that. The Sirius module's half that. So it's gonna go well, and that'll be nice. Although I'm still limited to 6 presets, which is annoying because you have FM A, B, and 1, and we won't have that with Sirius. And then of course there's no display and little toggle wheel. I'll just have to punch next. But usually the stations I use are 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, they're in that area. Okay, so it's been like 2 hours. I blew off half that yard and then mowed the whole thing. So we are now pretty much on track. Even blew off this side of my house again. So that looks pretty good actually. Didn't touch the front, but yeah, I'm very tired of walking now, and I got some bite on my arm, and I'm gonna go in and get something to eat. I'm starving. Morning, guys. It's about 1:30. Just did 2 episodes of Dexter. Talked to my dad for a while. Did the emails. Getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna head upstairs. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm gonna meet with Joe for lunch. That'll be nice. I have a class from 11 to 11:50. Then I'll probably come back home. Get things in order for the weekend-ish. Having a couple assignments due tomorrow. I'm gonna do Sunday, so we'll try to get that out of the way. Meet Joe for lunch and then work on a communications quiz, and then we'll be done with that. We'll hang out for a while, come back here. Then I'm gonna mow across the street over a house, get that done. Did a lot today. A lot of yard work, a lot of class work, as usual. So I'm gonna get to bed. We'll talk tomorrow. Sorry for yesterday's late upload. I totally forgot about that last night. I don't know why I forget about that sometimes, but I do, so I uploaded that during class, so it's up. All right, talk to you guys on Thursday. Good night.